Dear students, today we are going to discuss about thermal expansion. We know many substances expand on heating and contract on cooling. That means as the temperature increases, the dimensions of material will be expanded. So here, expansion is nothing but a change in the temperature of the body, a change in a change in temperature of the body, temperature of a body causes change in its dimensions is called thermal expansion. That is, most materials, most substances expand on heating, contract on cooling, We know when there is air inside the balloon, when you keep a balloon in the warm water, the size of the balloon increases. That means the air inside the balloon will be expanded, so size of the balloon increases as temperature increases. When you keep the same balloon in the cool water, the size of the balloon will be decreases because the air molecules inside the balloons will be decreased, size will be decreased. Here in this lecture, we are going to discuss three different types of thermal expansions. That is, the thermal expansion is of three types. Thermal expansion is of three types. That is, if length increases, we discussed about linear expansion of the materials, linear expansion. And now another type is nothing but if area of the body increases, we will discuss about areal expansion. And if volume of the body increases, we will discuss about volume expansion. And also we will obtain a relation between linear expansion and areal expansion. And also we will discuss about a relation between linear expansion and volume expansion in this lesson. So now I am going to discuss about linear expansion in the beginning. So now I am talking about linear expansion. In linear expansion, that means the length of the body changes as temperature increases. So here I am taking a rod whose length is nothing but L. Initial length of the rod is L. So initial length of the rod is equal to L or L1. Okay. As temperature increases, initial length is L1. As temperature increases, as temperature given to the rod, its length will be increased. So the increase in length is nothing but consider delta L. So the new length L2 is nothing but L1 plus delta L. So new total length is L2 equal to L1 plus delta L. Therefore, here L2 is equal to L1 plus delta L. That is, here change in length is equal to L2 minus L1. Change in length equal to L2 minus L1. See here, the change in length is directly proportional to change in temperature. If the temperature change given to the body is more, the increase in length also will be more. And also here, the change in length is also directly proportional to initial length L1. Change in length is also directly proportional to initial length L1. So by combine, if initial length is more, the change in length of the body is also more. If initial length is less, the change in the length of the given body is also less. So now I am combining these two relations here. The change in length is directly proportional to L1 delta T. On removing proportionality symbol, we will get a constant alpha L1 delta T, alpha L1 delta T, where alpha is nothing but delta L by L1 into delta T. Okay, where alpha is nothing but coefficient of linear expansion. Alpha is coefficient of linear expansion here. So here, what are the units of alpha? I am drawing a box here for alpha relation. For alpha, alpha is nothing but coefficient of linear expansion. The units are, for change in length, the units are meters divided by L1, units are meters. For change in temperature, Celsius degrees. So here meters and meters get cancels. So alpha units are per degree Celsius or per Celsius degrees. That is 1 by Celsius degrees. Okay, these are the units of coefficient of linear expansion, or per Kelvin are the units of coefficient of linear expansion. And also we will discuss about areal expansion now. Areal expansion. Similarly, here the change in area, with respect to temperature is given by change in area is directly proportional to initial area and also directly proportional to change in temperature. So now change in area is equal to, by removing proportionality symbol we will get this is nothing but coefficient of linear expansion. By removing proportionality symbol we will get a constant, that is coefficient of areal expansion into A1 into delta T. So here coefficient of areal expansion alpha A is equal to delta A by A1 into delta T. The units are again, the SI system of units are again per Kelvin are the units here. So here alpha A areal expansion is equal to delta A by A1 delta T is nothing but coefficient of areal expansion. Here alpha A is nothing but coefficient of areal expansion. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the third one. Third one is nothing but volume expansion here. So in the case of volume expansion, again the change in volume is directly proportional to initial volume and also directly proportional to change in temperature. By removing proportionality symbol we will get some constant alpha V into V1 into delta T. So alpha V is nothing but coefficient of volume expansion is given by delta V divided by V1 delta T. So here alpha V is nothing but coefficient of volume expansion. Coefficient of volume expansion. And the units are same per Kelvin or per Celsius degree. Per Kelvin or per Celsius degree. So this is about volume expansion, area expansion and linear expansion. And now we are going to discuss about the relation between volume expansion and area expansion. Relation between linear expansion and areal expansion first. So here let us consider a square with side length with side length L. Okay, and now on increasing the temperature, on giving the temperature of the body, on increasing temperature of the body, the final length L2 here. Initial length is L1 and final length L2 is equal to L1 plus delta L. L2 equal to L1 plus delta L here. So now see here, I am taking a square like this, and its initial length is nothing but L1. Initial length is L1. Now initial area of the square is nothing but L1 into L1, that is nothing but L1 square, and final area is nothing but L2 into L2, that is nothing but L2 square. L2 is nothing but L1 plus delta L whole square. Okay, now so here initial area is nothing but A1 and final area is nothing but A2. So change in area, now change in area, delta A is equal to A2 minus A1, that is A2 is nothing but L1 plus delta L whole square minus L1 square. So this is in the form of A plus B whole square formula. So L1 square plus delta L1 square plus 2 L1 delta L in minus L1 square. So here L1 square and L1 square cancels together, and we can neglect higher order terms. We can neglect delta L1 square as delta L1 is delta L. We can neglect delta L as delta L is very small. As delta L is small, delta L square is still very small, so we can neglect the term delta L square. So on neglecting this delta L square, we will get what is remaining here. This is the remaining. So delta A is equal to 2 L1 delta L. So I am dividing both sides with area A1. So I will get delta A by A1 is equal to 2L1 delta L by A1. So here delta A by A1 is equal to 2L1 delta L divided by A1 is nothing but initial area A1 equal to L1 square. So I am writing L1 square here. So here L1 and L1 get cancels. We will get delta A by A1 is equal to 2 into delta L by L1. I am dividing both sides with delta T and delta T on both sides. So here delta A by A1 into delta T. Here delta A by A1 into delta T is nothing but alpha A, that is coefficient of areal expansion, is equal to 2 times of delta L by L1 into delta T. Here delta L by L1 into delta T is nothing but alpha L. So the relation between coefficient of areal expansion and linear expansion is nothing but alpha A is equal to 2 times of alpha L. Now I am going to explain the relation between coefficient of linear expansion and coefficient of volume expansion. Now in order to explain this, now alpha L is nothing but coefficient of linear expansion, and we know alpha V is nothing but coefficient of volume expansion, coefficient of volume expansion. So to explain this, I am considering a cube. Consider a cube of side length L. Consider a cube of side length L1. So initial volume is nothing but initial volume of the cube V1 equal to L1 cube, and on increasing the temperature, on giving the temperature to the body, so final length of each side, L2 is nothing but L1 plus delta L. So final volume V2 is equal to final volume of the cube V2 is equal to L1 plus delta L whole cube. So here now the change in volume is equal to V2 minus V1, that is nothing but L1 plus delta L whole cube minus L1 cube. So on expanding this is in the form of A plus B whole cube. So L1 cube plus delta L cube plus 3AB square, that means 3L1 delta L square plus 3A square B, that is 3L1 square delta L minus L1 cube. So here L1 cube and L1 cube get cancels, and neglect the higher order terms, that is delta L cube and delta L square terms. Neglect these two terms because as delta L is small, delta L square still gets small, delta L cube still further very small value. So we can neglect these two higher order terms of delta L. So the remaining factor is 3L square into delta L. So change in volume V2 minus V1 is equal to 3L1 square into delta L. Divide both sides with initial volume V1 like this. So now I am gonna get V2 minus V1 by V1 is equal to 3L1 square into delta L divided by V1 is nothing but L1 cube. So here L1 square and L1 square cancels, only L1 remains in the denominator of right side, and now we can write delta V by V1 is equal to 3 into delta L by L1. I am dividing both sides with delta T, both sides. So now I will get delta V by V1 into delta T is nothing but coefficient of volume expansion equal to 3 times of coefficient of linear expansion. This is the relation between volume expansion and linear expansion.